Now, ladies and gentlemen, when you look at a lovely new building, the first thing you think about is the foundation. Now, it couldn't get there. So today we want to talk about the foundation. In mid-1985, sitting in my office, at that time I resided in the BVI, sitting in my office in Tortola, I received a call at 10 o'clock in the morning from Dr. Simeon Daniel, telling me that the present supplier of petroleum products in Nevis had cut them off from supplies for 30,000 EC dollars. Now, mind you, in 1985, 30,000 EC dollars was regarded as substantial. But irregardless, this company was here maybe 100 years before, and they must have made great profits over that time. However, they wrote to the Nevis Island administration at the time Dr. Daniel was premier, advising them that they would supply no further fuel to the country. Nevis included meant that the hospital would be out of fuel. It meant that the banks couldn't operate. It meant that Nevis would be closed down. I mean, that is factual. So he called me. As you know, he was a calm man, but you could clearly hear he was distressed. And he said to me, "Vernon, can you help me?" I said, "Dr. Daniel, it is 10 a.m. By 3 o'clock this afternoon, I will be in Nevis." I didn't know how I would get there. I didn't know if I had to swim. I didn't know what, but I knew that I had to be there. I was here in his office at 3 o'clock that afternoon. I remember the Minister of Communications at the time, Mr. Victor J. Martin, was Minister of Communications responsible for Nevis. It wasn't Nevis then, but the electricity company. And we all sat around the table in the Premier's office. We discussed this matter. I picked up the phone and I called my New York office and I discussed the matter with them. And we said to Dr. Daniel, if we have to fly the fuel in by plane, we'll do it. In other words, let's take that weight off you at the moment. Let us now discuss how we can do it. Because the petroleum business isn't something that you can walk down the street like a little shop and buy a candy, you know. So we had to build a plant, and we had to be in a position to be able to supply the electricity company so that they could generate electricity for the island, for the hospital, etc. So we discussed this matter, and Dr. Daniel said to me, "Vernon, let's get out of the car right now. Let us drive around the island and let us select a site where you can build a plant." We started our journey. When we got to Long Point, I said to him, "This is the spot." The government agreed. They leased us the spot. We started construction immediately. Now, the situation was this, and I want you all to listen carefully to me, because this is very important. It is time the people of Nevis, you know, my father told me when I was a youngster, that's not too long ago, of course, but my father told me that timing is everything in this world, timing. And I think this is the proper time that the people in Nevis know true facts about this company. Delta Petroleum is not a company that just looks nice, beautiful gas stations, although this is a fantastic, I agree, it is the best in the Federation, there's no doubt about it. And it is where? Where is it? Thank you. It is in Nevis, the best in the Federation, and it is in Nevis. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we had to make a very important decision. What this supplier had said is that they would stop delivering at a certain date. I think it was 3 months hence or something like that. So it meant that we had to build a plant in 3 months. Now that's a physical impossibility. It cannot be done. So what I decided to do was to start building, but concentrate on delivery, not everything else that went with it. So we had to have a tank, at least one tank in place, you know, a large tank, 150,000 gallons, something like that. To get a tank in place, have the connections properly done. The ship comes in, can pump it in through the channels into the tank, and then it is dispensed into the truck and delivered to the electricity company. So we went to work on that. We went to work on that, and of course, we were ready. On the date that they said they would stop supplying, we had to be ready to supply. So I gave the government the assurance that they could write to the supplier saying, thank you, we do not need your services after the date that you have threatened us. In other words, pick up their threat, you know, and let them know, no begging business, no give us some more time, do this, do that, no. You have decided to stop supplying the island of Nevis at a certain date. We accept that. Goodbye and thank you. But it meant that Delta had to be ready to supply it that day, or Nevis would be in blackout. So we went to work. I mean, many of the contractors here in Nevis would tell you they were all involved. Everybody was involved. It was quite an ordeal, believe me. We got it done. We delivered to Nevis. I remember that day myself like yesterday. Nevis was generating fuel now from Delta Petroleum. So Dr. Daniel again had the foresight, and he was a man that you couldn't threaten. Very much like Mr. Amory. Don't threaten these people. Don't threaten. Because when you threaten Mr. Amory, you threaten the people of Nevis. That's what you do. However, we delivered and everything was hunky-dory. So I pay great respect to Dr. Daniel, and later on in the program, we will be, through his dear wife, Mrs. Sheila Daniel, we will be making some donations to a number of schools in the territory, and also in honor of Dr. Daniel, we shall be presenting Mrs. Daniel with a plaque. You must know that if we had done that in 1985 for the people of Nevis, in 2013, this is nothing.
Mrs. Daniel, could you please come forward?
This Mrs. Daniel is receiving this plaque as a tribute to her husband, Dr. Daniel, who has done so much for Delta Petroleum and for the island of Nevis. So today we thought it would be an opportune time to make this presentation.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon. It is indeed an honor and a pleasure to accept this plaque to the memory of my late husband, Dr. Simeon Daniel. Thanks to the management of Delta Petroleum and this Limited for ensuring that my husband's legacy, this great and very humble Nevisian, be continued. My very best wishes to the company.
As good corporate citizens, we at Delta, we endeavor to assist our school children in whatever tangible way we can. And so this afternoon, I would like to call all representatives of all the primary schools to accept a check on their school's behalf. Joycelyn Liebert Primary School, Bellevue International, Maud Cross Preparatory, Lynn Jeffers Primary School, St. James's Primary School. Ivor Walters Primary School. St. Thomas's Primary School. VOJN Primary School. Elizabeth Pemberton Primary School. Charlestown Primary School. I would just like to say that this will be an annual contribution in honor of the late Dr. Simeon Daniel, a great leader and stalwart.
Indeed, it is quite a humble honor for me to voice the esteemed expression of gratitude that all stakeholders in education feels towards this generous offer made by Delta to all the primary schools on Nevis. Allow me to also salute the foresight of the late Dr. Simeon Daniel, who visualized even today how significant the contribution by Delta Petroleum X-Power to education would be. Education stands at the core of all enterprise. Our teachers and students do make full use of diesel, gasoline, and cooking gas. To be crowned recipients of this monetary gift, it is indeed a source of fuel to promote education. To Delta Petroleum X-Power Manager, Ms. Sharon Hobson Nevis, and the entire managing team with the dedication of the Managing Director, Mr. Vernon Lake, thanks again for your timely gesture. You drive, we power. Education is surely powered today. Thank you once again.
I was very proud that Delta chose to honor my father and his legacy and his contribution to the island of Nevis. I think Delta took a very important initiative in honoring his legacy in making a contribution to the local schools. I know it will be a very well-received contribution by all of the schools in these trying economic times.
I'm extremely pleased that the initiative that Delta has put forward here in Nevis, specifically because they are working towards the development of our youth. I want to take this opportunity to thank Delta Petroleum for their generosity, and I pray that as they would have supported or demonstrated their willingness to support our young people, that the people of Nevis will do them good service and support them as well.
I think that initiative which has been announced by Mr. Lake, that he would every year make a contribution to all the primary schools in Nevis in honor of Mr. Daniel, is a very good initiative. I think it speaks to the fact that here is a company which is willing to give back to Nevis through the development of our children, and I think it's important that other corporate citizens do likewise, because our children deserve to be invested in so that they can feel comfortable and feel the confidence which the future will bring for them.
My name is Everson Nisbet, one of Delta long-standing retailer. I want to congratulate Delta on their sterling new gas station here at Pump Road. I think Delta have made a sterling contribution to all schools in Nevis. That was a very good gesture for Delta, and I want to commend them on that.
It is indeed a new day, a new way, a new product, and a new experience. We are the longest standing brand name in these areas. Some may have left our shores, but Delta Petroleum is here, and this brand is here to stay, and we will be around for a long time, as you can see with what we have erected here. Mr. Lake has spoken about the solid foundation, and I would just like to say to Mrs. Daniel, good afternoon. I would always visit your husband when I come here, and we will have a drink of water together. It was white, so I call it water. And we will talk, and he is so much an inspirational person, and he gives so much good advice. And all my friends are older people, no pun intended to the younger folks, but you don't have much to tell me. So I deal with the older people. That's where wisdom and vision and understanding comes from. I'm sorry. But Delta Petroleum is a great company. The managing director and part owner's office, which is Mr. Lake's position, I'm very privileged to have him be able to work alongside him and below him, because he opens up and he shares all his information and knowledge with me. I'm a very quick learner, and I like that fact that he doesn't hide anything from me. He is indeed a great hero, and he is really the winds beneath my wings. Without him, a lot of things, and his support, especially this station, I can say it. He supported me on this gas station to the directors, to his partner. And when the figures were read and we saw the money, he said, forward ever, backward never. Nevis deserves this station, and we are going to do it in Nevis.